Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine you've got like a whole stack of research notes, articles, and you're trying to find a clear way through it all. Well, today we're doing a deep dive into the middle stages, the intermediate part of a specific kind of trauma therapy. We're working from a source that's basically a practical guide. It maps out the journey from maybe session 4 right to the end. Our mission really is to pull out the key stuff for you, the core techniques, what they're actually trying to do. So once you're past those first few sessions, this guide seems to really zero in on two main practices, imaginal exposure and in vivo exposure. What's the deal with these? Why are they so central at this point?
Yeah, it's fascinating how structured it gets here. Really quite methodical. With imaginal exposure, the idea is you revisit the traumatic memory every day. You actually listen to a recording of yourself talking about it.
Okay. Daily.
Daily. But it's not passive. You're meant to actively engage, eyes closed, somewhere safe, somewhere private. And you let yourself feel whatever it brings up.
Right.
The goal isn't just rehashing, it's observing. You watch how your reactions change over time. Is the anxiety lessening? Is the distress going down? It's also about challenging self-blame, realizing, you did the best you could back then.
So it's about changing the memory's power now.
Exactly. It helps reduce the trauma's current grip on your life, even if the event itself was objectively huge. It's about learning the memory isn't dangerous anymore.
That sounds, intense. Listening daily. How do they manage that intensity in the actual therapy session itself, especially at the start?
Good question. So in the session, maybe around session 4 or 5, the therapist has you slow it right down. When you recount the memory, you focus deeply what you're seeing, hearing, feeling like it's happening now in the present tense. All the details.
Using the present tense.
Okay. Yeah. And it can take time to what they call habituate for the distress levels to drop. Perseverance is really key. It's about fully engaging, not shying away, even when it's tough.
Makes sense. Leaning in, not avoiding. But what about the absolute worst parts? The moments that are just excruciating.
Right. That leads to this other really powerful technique, usually introduced a bit later, maybe session 5 or 6. It's called hotspots.
Hotspots.
Yeah. Once there's been some general decrease in distress, you stop recounting the whole thing for a bit. Instead, you focus intensely, laser focus, on the bits that are most distressing right now. You pinpoint a start and end for that hotspot segment.
Just that specific piece.
Just that piece. And you repeat it over and over, slow motion, vivid detail, until it kind of wears out or the distress tied to that specific moment really drops significantly.
Huh. Like working out a knot, you said, or cleaning a specific wound.
Exactly like that. Or like fixing skips on an old record so it plays smoothly. It's really targeted. You're actively breaking down the intense emotional charge of those peak moments.
Okay, that paints a clear picture. So you work on these hot spots.
Yeah.
Then what? How do you bring it all back together?
Good point. Once those intense spots feel more manageable, the guide says you go back, often in the final session or near it. You recount the entire trauma memory again, start to finish. The aim is to put all the pieces back together, integrating the processed hotspots so it forms a more, a well-organized and whole story. Less fragmented, less terrifying.
And the in vivo part, the real-world stuff.
Yeah.
Does that run alongside this?
Yes, absolutely. In vivo exposure continues throughout, usually daily homework. You physically confront safe situations that remind you of the trauma, but you do it gradually. You work up a hierarchy, starting with things that cause only mild anxiety and building up.
So not jumping in the deep end.
Definitely not. It's systematic. The goal is to practice until these situations only cause maybe mild discomfort. It's literally about helping you take back your life by expanding what you feel able to do and where you feel able to go.
So connecting this all up, beyond just the exposure itself, what's happening with thoughts and feelings during this process?
That's crucial. After each imaginal exposure session, there's always a processing phase. You talk with the therapist about the experience, how your thoughts or feelings about the trauma might be shifting, what new meaning is emerging.
Ah, the meaning-making part.
Right. And this often leads to more realistic thinking, less intense sadness, shame, anger, guilt. Those really heavy emotions start to decrease. Sometimes new details pop up during the hotspot work, maybe scary ones, and those get discussed and integrated too.
And the homework is key. listening to recordings.
Yes, listening daily is usually recommended, but with important caveats. Not right before sleep, not with other people around, and you track progress, often using specific forms, including, importantly, your SUDS ratings.
SUDS.
Subjective units of distress scale, usually 0 to 10 or 0 to 100. You rate your distress level before, during, after exposure. It helps you see objectively that, yes, this is hard, but the numbers are coming down over time. It provides concrete feedback.
So this whole deep dive, it really shows this intricate path confronting these tough memories. Not just like endlessly relive them, but methodically, piece by piece, reshaping their power over you. It's about facing the hard stuff systematically to reclaim today and tomorrow.
It really makes you think, doesn't it, about how this very structured, very deliberate engagement with our inner world, how it can actually transform even really profound pain. The power in that detailed process is quite something.